This looks
Didn't we cover it before?
different.
No, we covered Adam's game and ended up talking mostly about Robocraft.
Because it was just Robocraft with spaceships.
Oh God, I'm like
But
nothing.
this looks
again.
way better, and it looks completely different than when I used to play Robocraft.
And we're going to discuss that later.
Yes,
I thought we did do this at one time, but it was before we started streaming, right?
Yeah,
we probably did before we streamed.
yeah.
I think
But
so.
I think everything reset when we streamed, right?
Yeah, well, there's been enough updates to this game that
It
it
definitely
justifies
deserves talking
yeah,
about.
definitely.
And we never got to show
sorry,
you.
sorry. At the beginning there was no reason you couldn't hear any of the hosts because they were muted. So, haha, fix that problem real quick, didn't I?
Well, now you can hear us.
Yeah.
Should we restart?
No.
Let's restart.
I mean,
Why?
they know I'm Adam.
Press the reset button.
They know I'm Captain Adam.
am also
They
Adam.
know that I am Peter and don't understand this joke.
Oh.
Because
I kinda
it's not that
restarted
complicated.
everything.
All right. Well, shall we hop into the news?
We shall.
All right.
So, I know you guys have played The Witcher.
Oh, yeah.
I've played a very, very insignificant amount of it, so I can't really
I've
say I
ridden
played.
horses in The Witcher. I haven't played it. Playing would be a strong.
You
no.
played Gwent. Shut up.
Oh yeah.
I
That's
have played some
completely
Gwent.
different than playing The Witcher, though.
They just no, it's not.
Yeah, yes, it is entirely.
Well, anyway, Netflix is coming out with a Witcher series.
I am super excited about this. Yeah.
Oh, this was Badflix news.
It was. It was right
That's
up
why
there.
it sounds so familiar.
But it's also a video
It
game.
It is. I'm just saying. Never mind. Okay. You're all just gonna hate me because I made that one little comment.
I didn't say anything.
I
It
hate
was
you for a lot
Badflix
of
news
little
though.
comments, John, not just
There's
one.
plenty of other reasons.
Yeah.
John, show those haters how it's done by hating yourself the most.
Yeah.
John, you're a bitch.
John, you're one of them self-hating ploofs, aren't you?
That was a
rare
prerequisite.
But one of the things that I'm stoked about with The Witcher is that they're going with a Polish production company, and that's where The Witcher came from.
Yeah, the author is
Andrzej
Polish.
Andrzej
nice.
Sapkowski is in fact Polish. And other little known fact, he does not like the games.
Really?
Even though the games have tripled his sales in books, he says that the games cheapen the experience, and like every person who's read and played the games,
yeah.
they're like, "You're full of shit, dude. This is fucking awesome."
No, the game is amazing.
So, do you
It's
think
one of
he's just kind of biased against video games?
He
or-
might be. He is
Yeah.
he is from an older generation.
That's what
I
would
would
think.
say that The Witcher 3 is by far the best of the three. Because
Oh,
I
for
went
sure,
back
yeah.
and tried to play Witcher 1, and the control scheme makes it almost unplayable.
The graphics make it almost unplayable.
I could deal with the graphics, but like instead of it being an action RPG, you like have to click people to attack them and
Yeah.
stuff, and it was
Gotcha.
I just could not play it.
Rachel says, "Hey, hooligans."
Hello.
Hello.
What up?
But yeah, Witcher 3 is probably one of my favorite games of all time, and I'm not even done with it. So I'm excited to see this. And there's plenty of lore there that they shouldn't have a problem coming up with any sort of story.
Yeah, and I think that what they're going to do is, like what the article says, is they're going to adhere more towards the books, which is fine because the books explain Geralt's first meeting with Ciri and the first encounter with Yennefer and why that they're destined to be together and all that
Okay.
stuff. So
Nice.
there's nothing wrong with going from page one.
Yeah.
Especially if they adhere to The Witcher is very much like a fantasy meets horror kind of thing. Like they'll do stories that are reminiscent of like fairy tales, like Cinderella or the Seven Dwarfs or the Big Bad Wolf and Red Riding Hood and stuff like that. But they'll do it in a way like the Big Bad Wolf is actually a werewolf, and Little Red Riding Hood was a maid that the werewolf imprisoned, and like you actually play the huntsman in it to come save Little Red Riding Hood. And instead of being like the nobleman, you were hired.
Right.
Yeah.
You're doing it for money.
Yeah, exactly.
So, as far as the botchling quest goes, what fairy tale was that, if any?
Oh, I don't know, because the botchling quest is fucked up. It's the one where it's the aborted kid.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
And
That
then
one
it goes
was
around
really fucked up.
killing women and eating their fetuses.
Yeah,
Yeah.
eating
Like
their unborn
that's
fetuses.
the one that really turned the horror switch on to me. I'm like, that is disgusting
Well, it's-
and awesome.
Especially because that's followed up by the three witches in the swamp, which
Yep.
are either the Norns or the Greek fates.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the fuck is this game even? I thought I would just.
That game is
Kidnapping
whatever it
little
wants
children.
to be.
I thought I was just gonna kill some monsters. Turns out I'm gonna traumatize myself in the middle of this.
Yep.
Because
And
that little
make-
botchling, what they make you make the choice: fight it or nurture it.
Well, and all the really good quests have diabolical moral choices. Like, they
Sure.
want you to, like, do I want to be the evil person? And for me, in video games, always hard being the evil person. Because, like,
Sure.
even though they're video game characters, I genuinely feel bad.
Because you have feelings.
I would say you're not a bad person, Peter, and that's why.
That being said, I have gone through a game before, like...
It's never my first playthrough.
No. First playthrough, you always go through the way you would kind of do it, you know?
Well, every once in a while you're evil, but it's usually because the guy's a dick, or the character's a dick, and you're like, I fucking hate you, so I'm gonna be a dick.
In Fable, I started off good, and then I went like walked the line between good and evil the whole way, and I wasn't either. I was like, I'm just like a real person.
I mean, you are a real person.
I am a real. I'm a real boy.
I'm a real boy.
John, don't lie to me.
Yeah, check out this bot with the W4P on the back. The Wonder Woman
Glad
W.
you clarified what that was.
Yeah.
Dude, I thought it was
It's
like
a wing.
weird.
John, haters gonna hate, bro.
Yeah, right? Haters gonna hate. Haters gonna ain't.
Ainers.
This is called the Trojan Goof.
It's a wing.
Okay.
Horsey butt.
What does it look like when it's walking?
Like a weird horse that you don't want to run into.
This one's actually better than the big horsey butt I just made. The big one's just too big. This one is smaller, has more. It's all shielded the whole way around.
I like it.
It's shielded the whole way around, and then I turn it sideways like a pirate ship,
Oh, like a battleship? Yeah.
and then fire on people. See, if I would have just walked up the wall, he would have went up. But when I jumped, he couldn't do it.
John, is there in-game chat?
Yeah.
Like off to the
Yeah.
side.
He never uses it.
No, I mean like voice
Voice?
chat.
No.
I don't
Okay.
think so.
I heard some stuff. I thought.
Oh, yeah, we don't want to be surprised by a 12-year-old telling us how he fucked our mothers.
Twice.
Oh, and everybody's mother, not
Yeah.
just one
John.
of us.
John, just mine. All 5 of us.
Well, back to video games going to the big screen.
Yes.
Or Netflix.
Or Netflix. Well, the small screen to the big screen. Tom Holland, or better known as Spider-Man, will be playing young Nathan Drake in the Uncharted movie.
We've been hearing about the Uncharted movie for how long, Adam? I don't know what.
A long time, and I was always kind of...
On the fence.
Yeah, I take the stance of like it doesn't really need a movie. Same as like Metal Gear, because they've always talked about a Metal
Resident
Gear
Evil.
movie and
Yeah.
all that stuff. Like
That was a shit show.
those games are movies in themselves.
Yeah.
You know, like they don't need a movie to retell the same story.
It's an
in the
in-depth
game.
storytelling. just
If
done
you
in a different
play it on
genre.
fucking easy, and then
And walk
if you
through
don't
it,
want to,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, and even Naughty Dog, more than other game developers, their games are very story driven.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
and they're usually the mechanics in Uncharted are usually quite simple but implemented really well. But they don't sell their games based off of this game has really dope mechanics. It's like, this is an epic story and you're gonna go on an awesome adventure. So I feel like even more so than Resident Evil, it doesn't need a movie. Like, and Resident Evil didn't need a movie, and they made movies and they were all fucking terrible.
Oh, you
every-
lost a leg.
He's
They
like
were
barely
fun
standing.
in how bad they were and like off the wall, but I
The
never.
first one, maybe. The next ones, I don't even know. The main character isn't even a character that exists in
Oh,
the
I don't.
universe.
Whenever I see those movies, I don't think of the video games at all.
I can't not, though.
Well, but after reading this article about the Uncharted movie, I actually think it's a good idea. Like they're doing it's going to be prequels to the games instead.
That's a much better idea.
He's going to be playing. Tom Holland's going to be playing a young Nathan Drake, and that way they can kind of tell whatever stories they want and not step on the stories that have already been told.
They can also cast Tom Holland and not have to make him look old, which is always bad in my.
One of the things I'm worried about this is Tom Holland's still a relatively newer actor. I don't know. That's freaking sweet. If
Would
he
you
could carry a movie on his own.
Rachel would like to point out that don't hate on the Resident Evil movies. It's her shameful pleasure.
I like them.
That's
They're
too
fun.
goddamn bad for you. I'm gonna
To
talk
be
shit
honest,
all I
to
want.
be completely honest, I think I've only seen like maybe 2 or 3 of them.
The third one's in the desert.
Yeah, I don't think I ever saw that one.
The fourth one's on a boat, for some of it.
So the more
Good
you
chunk.
describe, I think 2. I know I saw the first one for sure, and I liked
First
it.
one's in the mansion underground, second one's in the city.
Yeah,
Oh, you fucked,
yeah.
John.
I've seen both of those, and both of those were pretty good. Never really got into any of the other ones though. So
I just wanted to address Adam's concern though, because Andrew Garfield is actually a really good actor, and though he started out as Spider-Man, and he's gone on to a lot of really great movies.
Oh, I completely agree with you.
So
and I'm not
minus
saying
Tobey Maguire, most Spider-Mans.
that- I've
Well, 1/3 of the Spider-Mans have had successful careers.
and I'm not saying
I
he
liked
can't
Tobey
do it.
Maguire when it came out.
Yeah.
I was
I
like,
did
this is
too.
the best Spider-Man that they could have done.
The first two Spider-Man movies are good.
And I
Yeah, the
stand
third
by.
one.
I stand
Yeah.
by that Spider-Man 2 rivals X-Men 2 as the best superhero movie ever.
It's up there for sure.
It's got a dynamic villain. It's got an interesting redemption
Ever?
plot.
yeah, ever or outside of the MCU?
I guess outside of Guardians.
Okay, I was about to
Okay.
say, I'm like, why is Guardians not on your list? Okay, I don't understand. Who's this person? You're not Josh.
One thing that that Spider-Man has over Guardians is a dynamic fucking bad guy.
Yeah, that's true.
Guardians bad guy was very.
One-sided.
Yes.
His one goal, kill
You're
Xandar.
dying, John.
And then the other one is the other goal, but I'm not going to spoil that because
Yep.
it's still new.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's a good actor. I like this Tom Holland kid. It's just carrying a movie on your own is a lot different than being part of an ensemble.
I think the
cast.
important part for this is they have to nail Sully.
Yes, exactly.
So right now, the voice actor for Sully is, as far as I can tell, the only one who can nail Sully.
Because young Sully should be just as badass as Nathan Drake, if
Right.
not maybe more. You
I would
know?
say a little bit more decisive
Yeah.
Well,
like,
like, on prequels, you'd think he would be more badass at that point.
because he's younger,
Right,
right?
'Cause he's
Yeah.
younger. And
I mean, he as an old man, he can still climb the same shit that Nathan, like
Yeah.
hanging on ledges with just his fingertips, you know.
Yeah, that is true. There are times though where Sully's like,
that.
I'm gonna go around.
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely shirks the duty onto you a bunch of times.
I'm gonna go get the boat, okay, kid?
But I feel like that's just a knowledge of your limits. But
Yeah.
like maybe 20
Right.
years ago, but no, you got it.
He even he even says that from time to time. He's like, I could do this if I was younger.
Yeah.
If this was 20 years ago, kid, I'd be right with you. And then Nathan's like, if this were 20 years ago, I'd be 5.
So I'm pretty excited to see what could come out of this. I
For
think
sure.
it could be good because
John?
it's not gonna step on the game.
The toes of the game, yeah.
I think it's got more of a chance of actually being a good video game adaptation than most video game adaptations ever do.
And I have no problem with them taking the story right out of 2, where Sully and him meet. There's nothing wrong with that.
I kind of think that should be in there as like the tie-in.
Yeah.
You know, they don't have to. I don't know.
Like, they don't have to do, like, the whole thing from 4, where he's part of an orphanage with his
Right.
brother. Like, they don't have to do that part. But they definitely have to do the part where him and Sully meet, because that's the team. Mm-hmm. Like, it's like fucking Sam and Twitch or Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah.
It's not just Nathan Drake.
I never liked the brother the whole time.
Really?
In 4.
Oh,
No.
did you always know that he was gonna...
Yeah, I just never liked him from the
Yeah.
get-go.
Do you know what? That's Troy Baker.
Yeah.
And so it's great to have, like, 2 of the most popular voice actors in games acting off each other.
Yeah. I mean, there was some good dialogue and stuff between them. Stuff I just, as a character, I didn't trust him the whole time. You
Alright.
know?
When
Do
while
you
we
think that was on purpose?
probably
distrust?
probably.
Oh yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, because of the way it turns out. But
Right.
to end this, what the fuck is your wife's name in 4? Like the character, the chick. What's her name? It's not Chloe, because Chloe's the British chick.
No. Elaine.
Elaine.
No, yes.
Yes. Okay. Whew.
I knew it. Yeah.
I've been struggling with that all day.
I always liked her better than Chloe.
I like Chloe, but
They made her look kind of weird in the 4th one, though.
I like British chicks. You hear that, Rachel?
Said Australian Josh.
Yeah. Good night.
She's like, I think he's just confused.
I'm from Montana.
Yeah.
That's not British.
Alright. So moving on to the next story. Destiny 2 is not coming to Steam.
Which is a little weird. They're actually using Blizzard and Battle.net to sell
yeah.
their game. Which, I think this is the first time that it's ever been a non-Blizzard created
It is a
title.
Blizzard game though, because it's Blizzard Activision.
Elena.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Elena?
Elena.
Okay. That's right. I wasn't quite sure when I said Elaine.
Yeah. Elena.
Okay.
My bad.
Well, that makes this a little bit...
Yeah.
I'm tired of
Ra-
shit.
Rachel
I
said,
got
meh.
tired too sitting outside.
Rachel said, meh. No fucks given. Thanks.
I guess I'm not surprised by them using their own service, and that's not really a problem since Battle.net is a free service, and the launcher is actually really good, and using buying their games is really easy. It's not like using Origin or something like that.
Yeah.
Or
Uplay.
Uplay.
Yeah.
Origin is way worse than Uplay.
It is.
I
No,
fucking hate Origin.
we heard your
Fiery
lamentation of how long you were trying to recover your account.
passion. That was like one of the longest Facebook posts I've ever written.
I know.
'Cause I was so pissed. I was like, this is like the worst.
Pete's like,
I just want to play Mass Effect.
See what you're doing to me, Origin?
Yeah, it doesn't really surprise me either. I think more and more big publishers are going to start using their own stuff and try to compete with Steam.
The thing that
Or at
that
least
surprised
curb its success.
Yeah.
the thing that surprised me about this though is that they went to Blizzard as opposed to going to GOG or another smaller publisher. They went to someone who, John, I hear a siren.
That siren is saying that there's 1 kill required to
Gotcha.
win.
Okay.
These were just bots, though, so they literally never killed me because I just flew away with my broke-ass
I thought you were
plane.
being a boss.
Hi, Mike.
I mean, those were real people.
It's nice to see you in the digital world again, Mike.
I can't wait to hear what Mike has to say. He's going to be like,
there.
what's this robo shit you're playing? My
call
son
it-
says he's better than you at it.
He's gonna call it.
You might as well have. I mean, he said,
Do you
"What's
see
this?"
what level I am?
He says, "What's this game? Robocrap?"
When I logged back into this game, I was level 90. And I was just like, man, I did play a lot back in the day.
Are we still? Hey, are we still going into the alternate YouTube ingest server?
Possibly.
That's a question for Adam.
Possibly, but it shouldn't matter.
No, it's not. But I'm just saying I haven't seen any interruptions.
It's a shield.
Yeah. So
Oh, and a little footnote on that, I guess, is that Destiny 2 is not coming to the Switch. Nintendo Switch.
yeah.
Surprising no one.
Shocking.
Yeah,
surprising.
Really,
No one.
really shocking.
Is anybody excited for Destiny 2? Because I am not.
Only if Nathan Fillion is a major key player.
I
Then yes.
never played the first Destiny, so I don't-
Neither did I.
I did. It's poop.
It was
Is it?
basically like Halo Online.
It was Halo Online, but their storyline was bad, and the reason why is because they didn't release all of the storyline all at the same time. So by the end of the playable content during release, you felt you were not satisfied with the storyline. You had to wait for the DLC. The DLC took a long time to come out. At least based on the storyline, I felt like they should have immediately had it there. You know,
A couple months later.
or like a month.
Yeah.
And then yeah, so I just was completely unsatisfied, and then the rest of it was just grinding gear, doing instances, and essentially doing battlegrounds or whatever. And that's all fine. It just, I mean, as a story, I bought it for a story game because I'm like, oh yeah, this is gonna be great.
And Bungie's good at story.
No.
Well, you
If
thought.
they want to be.
Yeah. I don't know. I still hold to Halo Reach is probably the best Halo game
Never
ever.
played it.
Halo Reach?
What was that,
Yeah.
4?
No, Halo 4 is Halo 4.
Halo 3?
No, Halo 3 is Halo 4.
And there's 2, and there's 1, and there's 5. When was Reach?
Reach was
between.
after 3 and after ODST.
Yeah,
So
ODST was
it's
a pile
before
of trash.
4.
ODST was not the best thing about ODST was the firefight.
Yeah, that was
but,
great.
But everything else was poop.
But Reach's firefight was way better.
It was just because they took something that was great and made it better.
Yeah.
I mean, which they should have done.
I agree.
I still don't like power-ups. I think they're dumb.
When did you get a tablet?
It's the company's tablet.
We'll see.
I'm just using it because I'm evil.
We'll see.
When
We'll
did
see
you
how
go for a
Destiny 2
tablet?
does. There's a lot of hype behind it, and maybe something's gonna happen.
I mean, there's a ton of hardcore Destiny players, so I know there's a market for this game. So it'll at least be
So just to
successful enough.
clarify before we move off the subject, Bungie did develop Destiny, but the publisher is Activision Blizzard. So it makes sense.
Oh,
it makes
now
sense
it makes
completely
sense. Yeah.
that they're using that platform.
Yeah.
Because it might have been it might not even be Bungie's choice to do that. They probably don't even have any power over that decision at all.
Yeah, Blizzard
So,
could have been like, you're going to release it on Battle.net.
like, why not?
Yeah.
So, and it's not like I don't think their sales will suffer because of this.
So,
oh no.
So-
Absolutely.
Everybody's got a Battle.net account.
and if
More
you
or
don't,
less.
it's Battle.net. It's not hard to set up, and like Pete said earlier, it's free.
It's fucking free.
Yeah.
And if you don't, you're clearly not a member of the PC Master Race. Because
Yeah.
you would have played WoW at some point.
I never played WoW.
You,
know what's-
did too.
What's
No,
funny
I
is
didn't.
John wasn't here for
You
the last.
You're a liar.
John wasn't
No, I
here
never
for the
played
last
WoW.
episode.
Never
I know.
played WoW.
I don't know why.
So,
I thought
Why
everybody
didn't
did
Destiny
like
come
it.
out on PC? Anybody answer that?
Oh, the first one?
Yeah.
No idea.
Couldn't tell you.
Yeah, it's an always online video game. So
Yeah.
it stealing the game means nothing.
Yeah.
and they didn't release it on PC, and I was kind of really upset by that.
I feel like you
Probably the same reason why Halo 4 doesn't have a PC release, or Halo Reach, or Halo 3.
But it was an exclusive title.
True.
Like Halo's.
Yeah,
Halos
it did. You're right. It
exclusive titles.
went. You're right. It did go over to PS4.
So I can understand that because then you make more money from selling the consoles. They benefit directly. Microsoft benefits directly from that by getting those
I
exclusive
could
titles.
even see them doing it though, like how Rockstar did GTA 5, where it was released for the consoles, and then like, what was it, a year later they released it for PC? Because that
But
way
they
you're
never
still
did.
going to get the console sales, because there are people out there probably don't want to wait for a year to play the game.
I still think that the exclusive model is proven. So even if you do delay, I feel like you'll probably end up making do delay.
Look at that. Good touch, John.
Thanks.
Oh, there's a heated debate on.
Uh-oh.
It's not heated. Mike's just an idiot.
John.
He just says. Let's see.
You are bad.
Mike said he only hated us
I'm trying
playing.
to get on the platform. That's
He-
the hard part.
He only hated us playing Resident Evil because we never finished it. We're slackers. And then he said also PC
Likely
sucks.
excuse.
And then he says.
Fake news.
Then Rachel says Mike sucks, and he's a hater. But also, if this is your first time watching Waiting for Players, trust me, we don't just do this. We don't just yell at Mike. And please go ahead and like and subscribe.
We don't just
Yeah.
to make sure.
Yeah.
We do.
We do yell at Mike.
We do, yeah.
What's our next bit of news?
Our next bit of news.
Far Cry 5.
Animated.
It's
Oh yeah, my bad.
Is it? No, yeah, it's
Overwatch.
yeah.
And if you haven't
excited
played
for this.
Overwatch, you should definitely watch the shorts.
Yeah,
I've
the
watched.
shorts are amazing.
I've watched the Winston intro short, and that's a good one because that's when he hits the Overwatch button and everybody gets reactivated. That's also where you meet what's the stalker guy with the guns?
Reaper.
and Widowmaker's in that too, isn't
And,
she?
yeah, so is
Yeah.
Tracer.
There's
Yes.
and then there's a bunch of other shorts. And even if you don't play the game at all, the shorts are worth it just on their
And they're only like 10 minutes
cinematographic merit
apiece.
alone.
Yeah, they're not
Yeah.
Well-
long, and they look really cool.
It's actually so I went through. I don't have the money or patience to play StarCraft 2. It's a long series of games, and it's set over 3 different installs. But I did have time to watch the cinematics for StarCraft 2, and just like every other Blizzard game, the in-house cinematics
Oh, they're amazing.
kill it.
Yeah.
And so if you watch the Overwatch shorts, which I have, they're fucking amazing. The last one I watched was when what's her name was released, the hacker.
Oh, it's,
Yeah,
Sombra?
Sombra.
Yeah.
Sombra.
When
yeah.
Sombra came out, I watched that short. I was like, oh, that's dope.
Yeah. No, I'm glad that they're doing more because I feel like every character definitely deserves one, and they all have their own interesting little backstories.
Saw
that's-
Anna's too.
I think Blizzard's on par with Disney as far as like using storytelling elements really well in animated films. Like even in those 10 minutes, you really feel for the characters that have any kind of development in those shorts.
Oh, yeah.
I feel
Like the
terrible
Widowmaker
for
origin
Winston.
short
Oh, that
is
too, yeah.
amazing. Yeah,
The
the
which
Winston short, the Widowmaker origin short.
Oh, yeah, that one's great.
She's got a really messed up past, and Winston's as well. Winston's is really sad. His scientist dad, sad.
It is very sad. So, yeah, I'm excited for more of these because I want to see, a Torbjorn short. I want to see actually, they've done a Genji one.
They've done Genji and Hanzo, haven't they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're brothers.
They're brothers.
Yeah.
Oh, go figure. The 2 Japanese characters are brothers. Oh.
They're actually eternal dragons.
I know.
Eternal Dragon.
Why did you stroke your EP while you said that? They're actually
eternal
dragons.
Jerk, 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 jerk.
I mean, they are.
Fap.
No, it's cool. Hey, man.
You could then ask the
Stuff-
question, why are the only 2 Japanese characters both dragons?
Isn't? Oh no, Diva's Korean.
Korean.
Yeah, my bad.
I
And
know.
Anna, I think, is Chinese.
Mike says best news ever. They've delayed Red Dead Redemption.
They did
No.
delay Red Dead Redemption
That's
2.
not good news. That's nose.
No,
That's not
that's
good
no-
nose.
They
But-
bumped it back to spring.
He even used
of-
emojis, guys.
Wow.
Wow.
and then it
That's
only
super
bumped
lame,
back to
dude.
spring of 2018. It's
I
not
know.
that. It's not a huge bump.
Yeah.
And like
it's
we've
still-
always said when it comes to these things, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take your time. Make
You
it
know,
quality.
Rockstar's going to.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They've delayed every release.
I mean, I'm okay with them delaying it. I'm not going to be excited about them delaying it.
Well, yeah, of course not. I mean, I want the game now for real, but at the same time, I want a
Do you want the
complete game.
Yeah. Like, you want the game now how it is right now?
We don't want to know Man's Skies Red Dead Redemption.
Right.
Hey Mike, for the first time in your life, what's it like to be a minority? Nothing.
Oh, getting air right.
I got nothing from you guys on that. Fucking crickets.
He's funny because he's white.
Thank you. Jesus, I'm not asking for much.
Calling out, John.
It's okay, Peter. That's why they call it
I was-
Schmoopel.
I was having a retard moment.
I like I said, I'll probably watch the shorts. I don't think I'll ever pick up Overwatch, but I'll watch the shorts.
Fair enough.
I hate to jump backwards in time, but what if they did something really similar with The Last of Us, like a Last of Us prequel movie? Or the space in between his daughter dying and the beginning of the first game.
Okay, there you go.
That could be a good, yeah.
Yeah, like
definitely.
it's what, a 15-year jump?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like let's see that.
I mean, there's
Poor
plenty,
Joel.
there's plenty
Obviously,
of, like,
his
survival and
construction
stuff.
business as
Yeah.
a prequel probably boring as fuck.
Well, him and Tommy
was
trying
a
to get out
carpenter.
of him and Tommy trying to get out of town.
yeah.
That'd be great, especially like Tommy's gonna have to try and console his devastated brother.
Yeah.
Spoilers for a 4-year-old
And you kind of
game.
see how Tommy ends up, how he ends
leaving.
up.
Yeah. How he ends up leaving him.
And
then you also get
meeting
a
that. What's that? The first female character? What's
Tess.
Tess. Yeah, but how he meets Tess.
and how they form that they actually form their own business together. Business in huge quotes because they just smuggle ration cards, but whatever.
Which is like a
Food.
bogus economy. Anyway.
Yeah.
But
Just wrecking your face, John.
He's using,
but I feel like that
railguns.
could also be good. There's more money for Naughty Dog.
No, I think
Have
that
you-
could be a really good idea too.
Have you ever listened to Neil Druckmann's like talks, like his keynote speeches or anything like that?
Can't say I have.
He's like a savant, dude. Like he's like he makes leaps in logic and storytelling, and you're like, okay, yeah, sure, great, it sounds awesome.
And then he proves it.
Well, yeah, then you see what he does, and you're like, oh, it is great, awesome. Moving forward in time, Far Cry 5 got announced.
Yeah.
It's a reveal teaser, and then there's going to be an announcement trailer later this week.
Yeah.
And we'll throw that up on the website.
There's
For
four.
sure.
Is it 4 little 30-second shorts?
Yeah, one
they
of
don't
them-
really show much, but they're kind of interesting to watch.
One of them is a shot of a river, and then a body starts rolling down the
I didn't
river.
even notice it at first. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it says, "Welcome to Hope County, Montana."
I like the one with the bell.
That one's dope.
When it flies by, you see that's a dude just slamming some other guy's head into a bell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is the first Far Cry game in memory that's taken place in America.
I think it's the very first one in America.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and for it to take place, at least part of it in Montana, that's got to excite at least one person watching right
Gonna
now.
be a bunch of hillbillies and freaks with guns.
I think it
That's
sounds.
gay.
I think it sounds really interesting. I've never really played much Far Cry. I
Backwoods
played
fucking incest story. Just saying, it's gonna be backwoods.
So it's going to be
hillbillies.
Resident Evil 7.
Yeah. But
Rachel
action.
says Montana, bitches.
I played a little bit of
Montana.
Far Cry 4 here in the
Montana.
studio, and then we all talked about Primal, but I don't think any of us ever played it.
I would be the most one. Like I think I'm the most likely one to buy it, but I guess I'm waiting for it to go on sale. But it's a fucking Uplay game, right? So
Yeah.
good luck.
Primal, I've seen it go down as low as like maybe 15 or 20,
Yeah.
but that's the same thing.
Still
like,
though, you won't go for 15 or 20
Dollars or percent?
It's not so much that as-
dollars.
I'll go for dollars, but if it's percent, I don't. Dealing with Uplay is a whole thing.
It
You know, it really
it's
is.
a thing. It's just, gotta
Dealing with anything that's not Steam is a thing.
It's. I beg to differ. GOG is amazing.
Okay,
Just-
that's fine. That's but I'm referring to also console marketplaces.
Oh
because,
sure, yeah. No,
Because
I
like
hear
trying to, if you haven't used your console in a while and you're trying to use Netflix, it's like it's the devil.
I imagine
It's easy on the
update
PS4.
ya. It's pretty easy on the one.
Not if you have to update a bunch of shit, but yeah.
Because I just went through that exactly. Like I was watching something on my PS4 and I hadn't like downloaded the app or anything since the last time since I put in the new hard drive, I think, or something. You know.
Well,
Mike.
what I've had a problem with before is having Netflix, trying to watch it, and then needing to download the most updated app, but then you have to update your whole console before getting the new app, and then you have to update the app, and then you have to use it. And it's like this whole process.
Right. My
When you're on a
console's
browser,
still
you're
getting-
just like, it works!
My console was still getting used every day, so like the system was updated. It just had to get.
You could
the
tell
app.
how much,
Yeah.
how
Right.
often I tried using the Netflix on my PS3, and that was even worse. Like, because
Oh,
I hadn't
okay.
used it in like years.
Right.
Mike would like to let everyone know that it was good to see everybody at Adam's Barbecue, except for No Show Peter. He's a slacker.
Yeah, except I rode my bike 40 miles that day, so you can suck a fat one.
Why?
Fat bicycle peen, Mike.
Big slacking right there.
Big slacking hard, but doing productive stuff.
I also want to reiterate, if this is your first time stopping by, we're almost done with our news, and we're about to get into the game. But please be sure to hit that subscribe button. We'd really
Yes.
appreciate it.
You get a notification when we go live and we do some streaming.
Exactly, and we do have plans for more live streams in the near future. Let's get to the last bit of news, and it's probably the most fucked up thing I've read in a while.
Yes.
Ancestry.com, that awesome site that tells you where your origins are in the
For
world.
just $90.
Is it
Stop
awesome,
using them.
though?
Stop fucking using them.
Because you are literally selling them your DNA.
That's
And-
right.
Forever.
Yeah, they
Buried-
own it longer than you will.
Buried in their terms of service agreement, there is a clause that says they have the right to keep your DNA forever. And they have the right to that specific genetic code forever.
And the right to use it against you and your relative.
Like, sell it.
There's
Like, sell
actually a case, if at the very bottom of the article that you posted, there's a case to where a woman signed up for, I believe it was disability benefits.
It was
and
some insurance.
It was, yeah,
It
some
was
sort
some
of insurance thing.
yeah.
And she was approved for it, and then a month later, they had actually gotten a hold of her genetic record and found out that her father was predisposed.
Some genetic disorder.
Yeah,
Yeah.
some genetic
But
disorder. So
because of that,
they took it from her.
yeah, it's fucked up.
Yeah. They can
Mike
also
says,
sell it to
Mike says,
anybody they
Peter,
want to."
you should lift weights and not ride a bike like Lance Steroid Armstrong.
Yeah, Mike, you lift tons of weights, bro?
Yeah, basketball,
And then-
plyometrics, same shit.
Rachel's commenting on the Ancestry.com thing that she says they can clone your ass.
They could by what you're signing away. And
then-
you're also, by agreeing to those terms of service, you're signing away your rights to sue them.
Yep.
Yep.
So you're signing away your rights, like, explicitly to sue them, and that they can sell it, like, it's transferable forever.
Yeah.
So they can sell it as many times as they want, and even if you opt out of it, which is possible, there's a way to opt out of it,
But then they can, like, they'll opt out of it, but they won't destroy your records unless you specifically request them to, and then jump through a bunch of hoops to get them to do that.
It's
Yeah.
like trying to get your stuff off of Facebook.
I'm curious whether 23andMe is following the same kind of shady bullshit.
I have never read the terms of service, but my understanding is that it's not that way.
I have
haven't
more
watched-
faith in 23.
I haven't watched the video either, but I was reading a thread on Reddit about this earlier, and someone was pointing out that the YouTube show Smarter Every Day.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The guy goes, he does that. He does the 23andMe thing, you know, and he reads through the terms of service, and or at least talks about that he read through the terms of service, and everything seemed fine on it. So I mean, you know, it's still someone else's opinion, so take that with a grain of salt.
Of course.
If you're submitting your blood in to be DNA,
It's not-
it's
it's not-
analyzed,
saliva.
But it's
you
not
should-
blood. I thought it was
either
just
way,
saliva.
but your DNA, if you're sending it in to be
Analyzed.
cataloged and analyzed, yeah, you should probably read through those terms of
Yeah,
service really
it's
well.
not like a Netflix terms of service, you know? It's
Yeah.
a little bit more important.
Well, it has to do with your biology. so-
Exactly.
But I mean, I can understand why people don't read it. It's probably really long.
Yeah, no, I
mean,
absolutely understand. I don't ever read those things. I just you click agree. You scroll to the bottom if you have to.
Usually,
and then
though,
you
it's
click
not a
agree.
life-changing thing to sign a EULA or a terms of service.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not a fucking eternal thing. Like,
Yeah, you can sign away your fucking soul.
Forever.
I don't
And
know.
like-
I've played WoW.
Like you could do it and screw over your kids later on
Yeah,
or something.
way
you
down
know,
the line.
or your
Yeah.
you know, father, anybody. Like
We own your genetic code.
So what's the gist on this? Are we
Don't
going
use
to
them.
start
Don't do it.
warning people away from Ancestry.com?
yeah, I mean, highly. Like it's crazy. There's a clause in there that even says like they can use it for anything they want, even things that aren't even invented yet. So like
That's pretty
Even
far
things
reaching.
that aren't
It does.
even invented yet. Yeah, they're just like
yeah,
for-
but
for
so that
everything.
opens it up where they could clone you one day when that's a
thing.
more, you know.
Who's
yeah.
who's seen The Sandlot? Forever. Forever.
Kirsten's family recently used Ancestry.com to map that, so they've got
Oh, man.
her grandmother's genes and her mother's genes.
Let her know, man.
Did the DNA testing?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they have it.
Did you?
But-
A couple years ago, 23andMe actually got in trouble with the FDA because they were prognosing and showing different tendencies towards certain diseases, and the FDA was like, "Hey, wait, hang on, can't do that."
Yeah. But didn't they get where they can, or either they're
on the way.
They can as long as they give the disclaimer that it's not like professional medical, blah blah blah. You know.
These are the genetic markers for
Right.
hypertension. Yeah.
Go to a doctor and get this shit checked out.
Mike says you're killing me, Smalls. That's probably the nicest thing he said to us.
To be honest, I would still kind of
love
like
you,
to
Mike.
do the 23andMe thing. I mean, the only thing that really turns me off to it is the $200 price tag.
I love
Yeah.
Mike Pink.
Yeah,
I'll split it with
really
you.
Expensive. And then
Yeah.
I'll split it with you and flip a coin.
You guys should both suck
Do
on
it
the
both.
saliva thing.
What the fuck is this? Hey, real quick, we're gonna do a Lazy Nights vote on if we can use money to do that. Aye. Oh, the ayes
That's a
have
lot
it.
of money.
Hey.
It may be
Watch
an
me whip.
experiment we'll have to do someday.
Right on.
I think it's game time.
I think it is
I
game
think
time.
so
It's
too.
game time, baby.
You ready to talk about this?
Yeah, let's talk about Robocraft. So we're gonna cover the boring stuff first. Publisher, free jam.
like
they
jam,
it better be
like
free.
the jam I put on peanut butter.
Yep, and they jam that shit for free.
Nice.
It came out in 2014, so it's been out, like I said, for a while. It's been out for 3 years.
And we played it before.
We did, because like I said, I came back to this game and I was level 90, and I was like, man, I played a lot back in the day. Me and my buddy Ed, though, played the living shit out of this game, so we didn't stop.
Your armor looks pretty cool on that.
Yeah, so I just so armor you can put on there and stuff, like if it can't like bump into the other piece, but I managed to snake all these armor pieces around each other to just keep stacking them. I didn't care if it was pretty. I just wanted to jam as much armor around the front and back of my mech as possible, and on the sides to protect the legs. So I just was like, I'll just find a way to weave it together, and it actually came out pretty good. I call this one the Trojan Goof.
You missed a trick. It's the Trojan Ploof.
Damn it!
You fucked up, John.
I did.
You fucked
Real
up.
quick, the score rank on Steam Spy put it at 32%, but the user score is 72 and the old user score is 73. Now, that being said, Free Jam kind of broke the game for a while.
Yeah.
So it was a lot different, and it wasn't that it was broken back then, is that they made a bunch of changes. They changed the way the currency in the game worked. Before, you had these little robo points. I can't remember what you called them.
Robo points.
And if I wanted to buy something, I would go to the store and it would tell me how many robo points. Well, now you have these thing here.
Now you have Robo points.
No, they're called Robits.
Oh.
You weren't even close. You weren't even close, bro.
Hey.
Now you have Robits, and you get them. For a while there was no way to get Robits without spending money.
Sounds like how
that's lame.
Zoidberg says
Yeah,
robot.
and so then all the Steam, because people that were playing it on Steam when it came out on Steam versus when it just, because originally you just downloaded the game off their website.
Right.
So all these Steam reviews are just like pay to win, pay to win, pay to win, pay to win, because it was. They broke it, turned it into a pay to win. And they have since fixed it. So when you end a game, every time you level, you get the highest level of crate.
Oh, that's cool.
And then that unlocks and it gives you get Robits in there as well as you get components. And
Highest level of crate for you.
Can we
No,
see?
no,
Can we see the
highest level in
different
the game.
things you've made? I know you've shown it throughout the day, but can you show us the different robots?
So
Also,
this
do you-
here is the Waiting for Players Pones, W4P Pones airplane I made. That
I'm not
also-
sure that it pones. If you were watching the stream,
It's good. It's just there was a guy on there. I was going to tell you guys to start. The guy that had the avatar that was a number 6, a white 6 on an orange background.
Uh-huh.
I was going to tell you guys before the thing, he's going to murk me because he had massive anti-air cannons on him, 4 of them, and they shred flyers. They can't do shit to ground units, but they shred flyers. And so I was just like, I know that. And he did. He just stood back and he just shot at our flyers the whole game. And when he starts to hit you, it's a flat cannon. So it goes out and then it explodes like a shotgun blast through your plane and just shreds your plane. And
that
once
that
they
one
start
that was
hitting
taken-
you, yeah, it just blows chunks off my plane. And then next thing you know, I'm like a propeller and a wing.
So what are those orientation arrows for?
So this is just telling you, one, how much space it takes up. Mm-hmm. Okay, so like it's saying that nothing can be placed within this ring.
Sure.
So nothing that overlaps with that ring won't allow me to. Same with these. These are telling me that they're going to spin, but it's also telling me that these create lift.
And
This
then
is telling me that it creates
thrust.
forward pull.
And then over
Or
the wings,
backwards.
you can see how the air travels over the wings.
Yeah, they show you.
Sure.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
What determines how much you can build?
So if I go in here, we'll just go in an airplane and edit my robot.
Your
Down
robot?
here at the bottom, the robot CPU, the maximum is 2,000. This one's at 976.
So you've got some room to move.
I can make it twice as big.
And does everybody have that same maximum?
Yes,
Or, okay.
2,000.
Nice.
So even me at a level 102 now or whatever I am, it's still 2,000, just like everybody.
What's the
And-
relationship between robot CPU and energy? Like,
So robot CPU is just
How much
everything
you can
has
use.
a CPU charge. So like oops, wrong button. If I go in here and I look at this, right, it's going to tell me CPU load is 150 pflops, right? So I know that if I add that item to this, it's going to cost me 150 of my robot CPU points. So that's
Gotcha.
something I got to be aware of. Blocks obviously don't add much at all. Now, your weapon energy is based off of, so like my wings, my boosters, my guns, my propellers and blades, all of that stuff decreases my weapon energy because they all take power. And that decreases how long I can fire my gun for. So like if we go into the training here real quick and we just take off.
so what about the number of guns? Does that affect your weapon energy or no?
Yes, it does.
Okay, so just having a gun affects the number of times you
Yep.
fire all of your guns.
Exactly.
I guess let's think about it like a load on a battery where the drain's going.
So this
So are
guy.
you better off with less guns or like a happy medium kind of? Because if you stick just a whole bunch of guns on, it's kind of pointless then,
Yeah,
right?
you're gonna burn through your energy super.
Exactly,
Yeah.
but so there is a happy medium. So like you see on my plane here, there's 4 guns on the bottom. That's because it takes 4 of these plasma cannons to reach the maximum fire rate.
Gotcha.
So I have the optimum amount. Now I get 1 shot off and I can no longer reach the maximum. So there's a reason to put more on there because they do get blown off and you could still maintain. But like, so you see this blue bar around my aimer? See how
Yeah.
it goes down. Once I run out of energy, my fire rate drops drastically and I gotta let it charge.
So if you have, do they all fire simultaneously or in sequence?
In sequence.
So having more guns doesn't necessarily change how quickly you run out of energy.
You shot yourself.
I did.
You still
no.
only fire the same number of times.
Yes, but that's the whole point of
But it
adding
increases the
unnecessary
firing rate,
guns.
right?
Just killed your pilot.
What? I didn't.
He's K, dude. He's K.
Yeah, he's fine, dude. He's in the
Look,
air.
he's 100%.
Straight up. There's no crash damage in this game. Although they did add melee weapons, and oh my god, dude, people make these bots. And the melee weapons are these big curved like plasma blades. Mm-hmm. And there's these people that
Zoids.
make spinning
Yeah, I saw the
spinning
Zoid.
flying bots with helicopters, and they fly and then they hit their boosters and start them spinning and then they just fly into you. And the like if we go to the forge here, I can show you the weapons. So they're these guys. And in fact, I think I have them, or at least I've got some. So I could just put it on top of my plane, maybe.
A fin.
That thing.
Energy fin.
It's too close to the.
Oh yeah. Well, I could probably put it on the ground. I'll just put it here.
Oh, you can have multiple weapons.
Yeah.
That's rad. So you can switch.
You
your-
always could have multiple weapons.
Oh, could you? I just couldn't remember.
Yeah.
But you can only have one active at a time.
Yeah, but so
Well,
you
yeah.
see these, right? And then the bigger one's even bigger, has a third blade, right? Oh, it's symmetrical, did it? So, yeah, they'll make these spinning bots with the melee blades, and there's different. They've added all kinds of shit now. So, like in the
John, just not to keep it too bogged down in menus, is there any way we could go back to a game?
I could go against AI.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Just
Well,
we're
was
losing
playing for, like,
we're
the first
losing
time.
viewers
Oh, because
because we're just in menus.
Oh, John, you're losing viewers.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're not talking about the game anymore. Now we're just gonna play the game. No, they've added stuff. So they've added like a blink teleport.
Oh, that's
so that
awesome.
actually, okay, that's cool.
to escape from battle or to get into battle. They've added this backup battery that you can store on your ship that basically allows you to recharge your weapon energy once every 2 minutes.
All right.
They've added an EMP which shoots this big beam from the sky in an area after like a certain delay, and anybody inside of it just shuts your robot down.
Now,
That's
are there
amazing.
Yeah,
are there
so like I'll be
pickups?
flying, and if somebody hits me with their EMP while I'm flying, my ship will, all my propellers, everything will just stop, and it'll drop like a rock.
Oh shit.
Are there like in-match pickups or special boosts or power-ups you can get in this game, or is it just based on what you build?
No, just based on what you build. There's nothing in the map. Now they did add a custom game type recently too in the latest patch as well when they added a lot of stuff. So one of the biggest things that they did in the last patch was they added the robits to the crate.
Sure.
So that people can get them all
Still
the time.
generate money.
Yeah.
Did you actually mention how you ended up with so many robots?
Well, so now you can upload your design. So like my plane here, I can upload it to this place called the factory inside the game. And then if like say Adam back here wants to build this plane,
Which
and
one?
you don't have the components.
Either one.
Both.
Either one. They don't have the components, right? So it'll say to Adam, because of the components I'm using, it's going to cost him $200,000 to make this. Because it's just making you buy all the components at once. And then it'll also build it for you, so it just shows up in your garage, so you don't have to build it. So if you don't like building it, you can just collect robots and then use other people's designs.
Right on.
Yeah.
So there may be other people flying around with a W4P phones.
I highly doubt it.
Lenny.
Seeing as, no, Lenny bought my first plane,
Oh,
and not this one. This one's actually better.
damn you, Lenny.
So what do you like better? Do you like making planes better or walking?
I like making them all. It's insanely fun. They all serve their purpose. Flying's fun, but it's way harder to do well with a flyer.
I like the walkers with the jumping. Thought that was rad.
Yeah, so now the spider legs and stuff, you can climb walls with those. And then you can post up on the wall with the spider legs. And then, like, Garrett actually just recently made a spider leg walker bot that allows him to climb up on walls, and then he uses rail guns as, like, for, like, sniping.
That's dope.
Yeah, and then he just
Better
snipes, and then
position,
and then
yeah.
it allows him he can jump really far with the spider legs too. So he'll jump really far, and
You pwned that guy.
yeah, you just squish me
Like waiting for players.
like this. We bone.
So if you're what you're
Okay.
saying is if you're good at designing, you can come up with enough money to
Oh,
feed
you could
yourself.
easily make a ton of robots. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
some designs out there that I looked at. One of them had 1,000 plus purchases.
Wow.
And then Free Jam will actually feature them periodically. So like if you have a really cool design, you know,
Are you
usually
praying? Are you hoping?
nothing of mine's cool enough for that, man. I'm talking like somebody made a spaceship with a biodome on the back.
I
A
can do
fucking biodome with like trees and shit, just using the blocks.
I
And
would
then
probably
a
buy
glass waterfall coming out of the ship.
that. I would probably buy that
And
Liger
so-
Zero we saw earlier. Peter knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That was fucking cool.
That was really cool.
Is it? You guys watch Zoids at all?
Yeah.
No. It's like battle bots, but massive like animal bots.
Okay.
They
And
have
the
special
main,
powers
the
and
main,
shit.
yeah, the main character Liger, he was able to morph into different kind, or not morph, but he could augment himself
Mm-hmm.
in different ways. And but the base unit was Liger Zero, and that's what we saw. It was dope.
And then later that Blade Liger and
Yeah.
Shield Liger.
Exactly. Yeah. Right on. Well, is there? You got any final thoughts before we move on to Peter's?
No, just that it's really fun if you played before and you liked it, but there's things you didn't like. They've changed a ton of things about this game. There's even ranked play now.
What's the cost?
free?
Oh, that's even better.
That's
Yeah.
the best kind of car.
Yeah.
the best
And
price.
since they've added the way you get the robots now and the crates, not only do you get robots, but you also get pieces.
Oh, nice.
That's
So you
From
get
the
little.
crates, so like you can just build stuff and then get robots, and you can unlock the things you're missing. If you were a low level when you used to play, the only other thing I will say is I highly suggest just making a new account. Because now for your starter, you get 3 mechs, a hover, a walker, and a flyer.
Do you get-
And it gives you all of the components for all those mechs, which I had none of when I came back. So like the people that just started like had all these cool components, and then like I was like, oh well, I have a lot of components, but none of the new ones. It just gives you more stuff, and those mechs are really good for grinding.
Okay.
Because, like, even though they're using really weak guns, the Walker Plasma mech, starter mech, people use it for a long time and then just, like, slowly... I still see people
Slowly
load into the
augment it.
game and it says starter mech. And the only thing they've done is kept the mech, but just deleted guns off and put stronger versions on.
I like your dodge skills right here. By the way, that was
It's
awesome.
a bot. He can't
I know.
do shit. He's like a stormtrooper. Oh god, that fucking box.
I
Can't
am
kill it.
box.
Dude. It is. It's so hard to look at it. I just shut the shit out of it, but I think I put a hole in the same spot over and over again.
Hey, Peter,
Yes.
tell me about the BIKI.
The
Or the
BIKI.
BIKI.
The first bionic wireless underwater fish drone.
That thing.
It's the coolest thing ever.
For people watching on our YouTube stream, I'm gonna give you guys a quick image of this thing.
Right there.
No, it's next
It's
to you
over
guys.
here,
It's actually
you know.
other way.
That way.
Yeah, there you go.
So the BIKI, the fish drone, made by
Jesus
RoboC. Lol.
Yeah, RoboC is SEA.
Yes. Just
Super Chinese company, by the way.
Very Chinese,
Like,
like,
if you go to
when
their
you go to the
website,
team.
it's all in Mandarin. Like, I can't translate it fast enough. I won't.
Could
he
you translate
can't.
it if you went really, really slow?
No,
So speed is not a factor here.
not at all.
Okay.
Zhang
No.
Ming Li, Dr.
Oh.
Wang Wei, maybe?
And
I don't know.
we solo,
We so
Peter
Li,
said way.
Li Yang.
gone too deep.
Ting Wong.
Yeah.
We got
Gone too deep.
I was actually trying to read their name.
So,
still got
I was
this
just making
try.
them up.
I think I'm fine.
I mean, they can't hit you. You're solid, homie.
He's still flying. So.
I'd also like to show them our viewers like a diagram of how this thing is built real quick. So it literally has a fishtail on it.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna zoom in on it real quick.
It's right here.
Fishtail.
fishtail driven,
Dude, that is so cool. I wanna fish.
moving at a staggering 1.12 miles an hour.
Staggering.
Staggering.
Slow.
But I will say that humans can only swim at like 3.7 miles an hour, like the
Yeah.
average human.
So what is why?
Clearly, I'm faster
Why?
than your
Yeah,
robot.
why?
What's
Why?
the point?
Because there isn't a fish drone yet. Obviously. Why not?
I imagine it also has a camera and can take videos and sweet stuff from under the
I
And,
hope
water.
and it can be
so.
controlled by your app.
Oh, that's handy.
And there's also like a separate remote control that comes with it.
That
too.
is also waterproof.
Yeah, that you can
Oh.
take with you underwater and steer it.
So I think for the purposes of going into spaces that you can't, like, I feel like there's actually quite a few commercial uses for this if they improve the design.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a service that a lot of marinas have where they have these scuba divers to go inspect the bottom of your boat, and they have to do that by hand. And they've recently been upgrading to GoPros, obviously, because that's a
Yeah.
really cheap way of getting down there
Right.
and increasing your visibility
And they're
taking
super
video.
robust. And
Yeah.
Like they can take damage.
Now that I don't even need to go in the fucking water.
Yeah.
I just do it with a fucking drone.
Exactly.
So, but I mean, obviously 1.2 miles an hour and the range is pretty poopy. So,
But
there's
this is
some
the first
improvements.
step, right?
This is
You
the
know?
first step, yeah. But I mean, why make a drone? Cause I don't know. like
It's true, it's true.
So why make a fish drone? Cause. But no one's done it yet, and I'm kind of the reason why I picked this was because like, I guess no one made an underwater drone yet. That's
actually-
pretty cool.
We've seen an
We
underwater
did talk
drone.
about an underwater drone. It wasn't
Yeah.
shaped like a fish. Yeah.
Okay.
and also
Okay,
was-
so this is the first underwater fish
It
drone.
was more like
Yeah.
just a regular drone.
it was
like
like,
a
yeah.
quadcopter but underwater.
But underwater propellers.
It was
and
more
it
built like
also-
a submarine.
Yeah,
That
it was also
like
tethered.
Lame fish drone.
It was
Right?
It had like a
It's a
100 foot or
tether,
200
yeah.
foot
Swims
cable,
with a
but
waggy
right,
tail.
yeah.
It was tethered.
That's poop.
What I do like
So
about
that may
this
be-
is it doesn't have so the side fins on a fish, they're for moving up and down. Like this thing doesn't have that. It uses buoyancy,
Yeah.
like a submarine does. It uses
The
ballast
ballast.
and buoyancy.
Yeah.
that
Right.
It's fucking cool.
I'm concerned about the battery life.
Is it short that it's going to get trapped underwater
It
forever?
doesn't
It's about the battery life of a
a
trout.
Oh, God.
Not very much.
On the line or off the line?
On the lines.
Mike says, and losing viewers again. Fuck you, Mike.
It can
Hey,
be,
Mike, suck my dick.
it can take 60 to 90 minutes of HD video. But I'm concerned that it actually can't run for 60 to 90 minutes, depending on its use.
Sit there and not move and record for 90 minutes?
Yeah, it can't do anything.
It can do it.
It is pretty sweet. What's one of these bad boys gonna run you?
$550.
That's
Hey,
actually
let's
not
split
terrible.
that too.
Yes, I'm on board for this. Yeah,
Fish drone.
So do you get a box every victory, John?
Yeah, that was a bot game, and I still got a bot.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Now
Obviously, you
there's
don't-
less.
stuff.
Is that
of
robits
course.
in a pile? Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Is it one
800
robit?
robits.
Oh wow. Okay.
That's a lot.
That's for those. A blue pile is 4,000 robits. A purple is 20,000. And if you get lucky like Garrett, and you get the legendary pile of robits, he got 100,000 robits in a single crate after a game.
Fuck
Free
that
crate
guy.
right after a game. Just
a
boom.
basic
Oh, 100,000 robits! Wow! And because we like pwn
all your
so
friends
hard,
jealous.
when we all group up and play, he'll level like 3 times. So he'll get 3 of like the highest level crates, or 2 of the highest level crates from leveling so many times. And then you just keep opening and getting tons of robits. And
I'm gonna have to play this game with you
Pete.
guys.
But since you're so high level, you can't get all no robits. Oh.
There's another concern that I have about this thing, and is that how does it deal moving from saltwater to freshwater?
You know, I don't know. That's a really good
That
question.
is a really
That
good
is a good
question.
question.
yeah.
Because like we could throw it over in 5 Mile or Angle Lake and probably have no problem, but let's take it over to fucking Dash Point.
yeah, to that
Right.
other
And
side, which
see.
would be where I'd want to take it more than just the lake, anyways.
Right.
you
Yeah.
know?
I'm not saying it's or Redondo. I'm not saying
Yeah.
like it's a bad
And
thing. I just
Redondo.
want
I
to know.
feel like that should be in the design axiom for the thing.
For
like,
real,
that's
right?
got to be one of the requirements. So like, gotta work in lakes, gotta work in the ocean.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like, hey, saltwater covers 70% of the planet. Make sure it works in that.
You know,
shit.
we already
Salt-
have a pretty good idea of how salmon spawn, like, and why they, and like not why they do it, but where they go and how their routes are and stuff. But throw one of these in there with it as they're jumping up and stuff. That could
Yeah.
be pretty fucking cool.
Hashtag National Geographic.
Yeah.
Salt can really
Fuck
screw
that,
some
Planet
things
Earth.
up though. So
Yeah.
there may be like you have to clean it out really well afterwards. you
My-
know?
Yeah.
most even like boats, you have to like
Yeah, you have to
rinse
run
them with
them
fresh
afterwards,
water
uh-huh.
and run fresh water through the motor.
Because the salt water will
Just
just
corrode it.
Corrode shit,
everything.
yeah.
My friend was telling me about living in New Hampshire for a long time and then moving from New Hampshire to Washington. His car essentially only lasted a year because of the salt had caked on the bottom of his car and it had corroded the metal, but the salt was there like as a solid clump.
Yeah.
And so it was protecting the car from falling apart. But as soon as he got to Washington,
It,
where
like,
there was no salt,
disintegrated.
his car started like literally disintegrating. And so salt's no joke. You don't want to fuck around with that.
That's gnarly as fuck.
I know. Like, I am literally falling apart. I would not drive that anymore. Like, you
Yeah.
just step into it and there's a hole and you're like, nope, I'm not driving to work today.
Off to the
Sorry,
bus
guys.
stop.
I'm gonna
It's
be
almost
late.
as bad as finding like a living thing in your car. Like, I'm not talking like an ant or a spider. No, you're like, you have a rat's nest in your car.
Yeah.
Maybe it's time for a new car.
Right?
Why don't you just clean it? Nope, fuck that. New car.
Dude, I had ants in my Prelude. It parked in my
And?
dude, it was rough. You can't have ants in your car.
This is how
I
you get ants.
Dude, I was driving it down the road because I had it parked in some
As
grass.
you do with cars.
Yeah.
And then I was driving it down the road, and then I looked down at my center console, and there's a freaking straight line of just ants marching over to my center console and back down inside of shit. And I was like, what? No?
The worst is when it's a
You
bee
bug
or a
bomb that?
wasp or something.
Yeah.
That sucks.
I sprayed it, and then they were like all through my motor and shit. They were everywhere.
So this thing will run you
Just had trouble,
five.
buddies.
This thing will run you 500. Would you
500
say
what? Robits?
dollars?
Oh,
would,
God.
would it be?
It is a robot.
Would it be worth it? And would like if you were in like I don't know as just a recreational first adopter, would you do it?
No.
I wouldn't either. I would wait for a longer battery life and definite
the next
enhancer on the
generation
salt.
one's
thing.
always going to be way better.
Yeah. And it will usually come down in price as well. Or it'll be the same price, but with new features.
Their video is also not good at explaining what people would use it for.
Well, that's just because you can't understand them.
Well, no, it was
it's
definitely
also
in English,
because
but
it's a robotic fish, and there's not a lot of these.
I feel like
They're probably just like, I mean, you get
they
it,
didn't
don't
show
you?
any commercial application for
Well,
it or
I
like
think,
usefulness
I
for
think
it.
you could have said like it's for cleaning zoo aquariums, and you put it in there so when people see it swimming around and checking on the tank, you know, it's just like it's like a Roomba for your fish tank,
It's like a fish butt.
That's
but-
actually not a bad idea.
right? And
It'd be
He
cooler.
said that with some surprise towards John.
Yeah.
Like, what if it was like realistic?
Well, we all
looking,
have
like,
ideas.
actually looked like
Yeah,
a
we
fish?
all-
Rarely are they good.
Then you can just like go fuck with other fish.
Yeah, you could, yeah. Because they'd be like,
down.
oh, what's that fish doing?
Finding
oh, it's
Nemo.
bumping into me.
It's Finding Nemo.
Bonk. Bonk.
So you auto heal
He gets
back to
eaten
this
by
really
bigger
quickly.
fish.
yes,
That's cool because that's a feature that wasn't there before.
yeah,
because
see, I'm gonna
before you were
auto-heal
useless.
and just fly
Yeah.
away.
There were many times where you're just like, I'm just a chair on a block.
I'm a chair with
Oh, there's
one
no
block.
there is no cockpit anymore.
Oh, that's
Oh,
good.
there's not. Okay.
I'm
Nope,
okay
there's
with
just
that.
like a certain level the ship's got to be destroyed.
Okay, like 90% blocks gone or something like that.
That's a much better idea.
Well, I killed 14.
Because before the tactic was hide the chair as well as possible with armor blocks.
Yeah.
And then there would be times where like you'd be cruising around and like get blown up, and then they would just leave you there, so you would never respawn, and you would just be a chair on a block
So,
hanging out.
Pete, any final thoughts on the BIKI?
It's a fishy.
It's a fish drone.
Does it swim in its own
Don't
poop?
touch me.
Stop.
There's nothing. No, there's really no closing statements. It's a fish drone. It swims. It takes photographs and video. That's really it. It's got some cool
Nice.
technology. I would look at it. The ballast. The ballast is a great idea, and the pneumatic little
Fishtail?
animatronic fishtail is pretty cool.
It also is like some of it is like aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah,
Like when
It's a
it
fish.
when it swims, you're like,
How big is
That's
it?
adorable.
Like, did
they
it-
have some. We need a banana for comparison, but it's about the size of like a large fish. Like it's what?
like a shark.
Like a fish shark.
No, I would say it's in between like a halibut and a
And
salmon.
a dogfish.
Or that.
Somewhere in there.
Halibut can get huge.
Yeah, so
hell
could
yeah.
a
How can it
dogfish.
be like 150
And that's why we
pounds?
didn't say tuna.
Like a tuna bit.
It's like a tuna. It's like the size of a human being. Which would also be cool. They should just make that.
This
It'd
is
be
a
cool.
sweet hover ship.
They should
you
just
make
make
that?
robots that are big.
No, he's
No,
No,
This is a factory.
John isn't that good.
I was gonna say that one looks really good. So
This is you're son of a bitch. I could make this. I could if I watched like a YouTube video on how to
Or
make
like
this.
something out of
Step
John
one,
Carter or
step
something.
No, there actually are tons of YouTube videos. So if you don't want to buy somebody's, but I always like to go in here and just admire
that one
some of
looks
the.
like Samus.
Dude,
That is
that
Samus.
oh,
Yeah, pick the lame one.
try to find
that one right there.
Has anybody made Rex?
That is
Yeah,
Samus.
that is Samus.
that's totally
Nice.
Samus.
Rex.
fucking
Oh, Metal Gear
awesome.
Rex.
Yeah, we were talking
Yeah,
about
look at, like,
making
Metal
Metal
Gear
Gear
Rex.
earlier. See if there's Metal Gear
If
Rex.
no one's done this, I'm gonna do it.
Just gonna hit Rex.
That's gonna
Okay, that
You can
turn.
put probably Metal Gear.
Metal
too.
Gear.
Metal
is
Gear would be
probably
better, yeah.
way better. Because they could just make something called Rex.
We're big right now, so
Okay, John.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
I don't know what I did. I hope I didn't buy
Try
one.
try again.
Oh God! I was like, I can't afford that.
while John
fuck.
finds this, is there anything coming up for Waiting for Players that we
There.
want to discuss?
Nice.
Here, let
No?
me switch
Yeah.
you guys here. Here's Metal Gear Rex.
That's awesome.
It looks good.
Buy it.
Buy it.
225,000 for a little walking laser mech,
And I don't see a problem.
and it's got some chain guns on it. What legs are it's using the heavy duty sprinter legs? That's why it's so expensive because I don't have those. Everything else
It doesn't have the radome on the side. Like it should have one railgun and one radar on the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't make it anatomically accurate.
Yeah.
They're just like laser guns.
Oh, what is this?
I think you can make.
Oh,
a
this
better
is the one I was telling you guys about that has the biodome in the back.
Oh wow.
Why would that come under Metal Gear? Like, why
I don't
why
know.
is searching Metal Gear have?
This is
thing
the
with a tree?
featured one. Maybe it just shows up in every search because
Oh,
they're
okay.
featuring it.
Nice.
That's so. Oh, okay.
But here's the waterfall I was telling you about. Little
the
glass
carbon
waterfall
six.
that they made coming out of there. It's so people are way cool. Like not way cooler. I don't want to say that. People are way more talented than I. For
No,
sure.
they have more patience than you.
there you go.
Yeah, right.
That's probably.
I
what it is.
probably
free
could have
time.
made this after like 100 years.
Well,
no, it's not really that amazing. It's just crazy, you know. I wouldn't have thought of it.
Hey,
That's
did you guys
really
know
where I'm
this is featured?
It's free jam featured.
So that's about
that's
about
it.
everything.
That's
Yeah.
everything.
About everything.
Yeah.
I know that we're gonna
buy
be starting.
my robots. They're on the factory. Just search Sentient Shadow, and then I get all your robots.
Nice.
Can't you sell these on the Steam Marketplace?
Rachel
too?
says that they're also way cooler. It's not just a slip.
It's not just more
Yeah.
talented.
Oh, you know, I've
they're
got
cooler.
it.
Like this is one I put on the marketplace,
I
right?
was like, shit.
Right? Wow. And my friends are very supportive, as you can all see.
That's friend. That's not all of
yeah,
us.
that's a
man.
good point.
I
Adam's
still
a-
think the armor looks pretty cool.
No, it does.
Yeah.
That is a pretty good one.
I do know that in June, Adam Caldwell and maybe others and I are going to start doing some more Telltale games.
Yeah.
We're probably going to do Tales from the Borderlands, but I did just get Wolf Among Us, so we might do that as well. Depends on how we're feeling. Other than that, Bad Flicks every Thursday at 7, and Comics Brew has a new episode every Monday.
Yeah, we do.
In June, Comics Brew Plays is coming back, and we will be streaming that. So
Nice.
that'll be something to look forward to if you're down with the
Is that
tabletop.
going to be on Comics Brew's YouTube
Yeah, it'll be on
channel?
Comics
So you
Brew's
need to-
YouTube.
You need to subscribe to that so you
Yes,
can.
we will.
That's fine. If you
Find
subscribe,
out.
if you subscribe to Waiting for Players, Comics Brew is one of the recommended channels. Other than that, we'll probably see you guys next. Well, I don't know for sure if I'll be here next week, but these guys will, hopefully.
Probably.
I will be here.
I mean,
Promises,
you know,
promises.
sometimes
We'll
shit
hold you
happens.
to it, John.
I'm not actually
All right.
promising.
All right, everybody say goodbye.
See you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Man, I was all hot last night. I couldn't sleep.
You're never hot.
You're still on YouTube.
I am hot.